Hi, good evening. Welcome to Tottenham Tantrum Gold, your home of your classic games, and we're going all the way back to 1976-77 when we played Leeds United in the First Division. These were the good old days, so come on, you Spurs.
Oh, when the Spurs go marching in! Oh, when the Spurs go marching in! I want to be in that number! Oh, when the Spurs go marching in! Oh, when the Spurs go marching in! Go marching in!
As I said, hi and good evening. Welcome to Tottenham Tantrum Gold, your home of your classic games, classic content, and classic debate. Tonight we're doing a watch along, all going all the way back to the 70s, or late 70s actually, 76, 77. The year I think Cooper started supporting Tottenham properly. Or we don't know if Phil was at the game causing trouble in the East Stand, causing a riot. And I was born in 77, so I think in this game I wasn't even thought of. Or I was somewhere nice and warm. Anyway, joining me tonight is my... There you go. You just copied it, you two. It took a while, but the penny dropped.
If I just walked into Friday late night.
Right, joining me from my usual co-host in the morning. He's with me everywhere we go. He is the one, he is the only. He is the nicest guy on YouTube. He's Mr. Coover 99. How are you, Coover?
Evening, Dermot. Feeling nice and warm myself.
Oh, that tickled your tummy, didn't it? Tickled your laughing buds.
It's getting stranger and stranger. Yeah, it's fine, mate. Looking forward to this one. Better classic game, isn't it?
That's it.
Not exactly our greatest era, but it's an interesting game. Just seeing the old places.
And down below me is, well, this man needs no introduction the world over, really. He's so famous, he's even got a Dell after him. He is the one, he is the only. Matthew, no, not, sorry, it's good old Phil Lattis. How are you, Phil?
I'm good, thanks, mate. All right, Matthew. You feeling nice and warm tonight, Matthew? Oh dear.
Oh Lord, what have I done and what have I said? Do you want to just read through the comments before I start digging any more holes?
No, you don't. Fine, Dermot. Okay. Ellie. Evening, Ellie.
Good evening, Ellie.
Oh my God, so looking forward to this old match. Watch along. Whoop, whoop. Thanks for joining.
Go on, Phil. Give us your mighty roar.
The owl is back.
Yeah.
The owl is no pussycat.
And we've got Ben in here. Right. Ben here this morning. Good evening, Ben. From our morning show. He did a great job earlier, what I saw of it, Coop. Did you see him there?
He did the coffee shop, yeah. That was good stuff.
I went out and actually bought coffee because of that show. I went out and bought coffee from my coffee machine. So...
Ben saying, time to decompress and watch the mighty Spurs. Absolutely.
That's it. Then we've got this one from...
Some idiot just saying Dermot picked the game, so I wonder if we win. Who knows? From Ben, and Truth Sets Free. Dermot picked Chelsea first leg this year by mistake.
Yeah, I did, yeah. Yeah, sorry, fellas.
Truth Sets Free, Tanganga Masterclass.
Yeah, more on that later.
Wayne Bonner, evening, mate. Evening, fellas. Hope you're all good. And well, come on, you Spurs. Tottenham till I die.
Yeah, it is.
Good evening, Moondog. Evening, Dermot, Cougar, and Hollywood Phil, he says.
Got your name right, Phil?
Certainly did. Thanking you, Moondog.
Mark Cousins with his standard greeting for Mark. Yeah. Evening, lads. Have we signed anyone yet?
Yeah, we've signed a new dog. That's who we've signed.
Yeah, on loan with an...
Yeah.
view the
With an
play.
option, with an option to return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we should have done with Tanguy.
Really, a dog is not just for Christmas. It's just for the transfer window.
Wish
And in
Tangy was.
Tottenham, yeah,
Yeah.
I think we won't get rid of him very easily. Shall we get the game up, lads?
Why not? Oh,
So, how you been, Phil? How's your weekend since we last seen you? There's Ian Moores.
Just busy weekend. Obviously, got a bit of work in the background, and then just today, I'm literally just finished work now. Literally, that was the last thing I did when I disappeared from screen just now.
Can you just pause that for a minute, Cliff? Just when you
oh
read out
sorry.
the Tottenham team.
I'll put
Yeah.
the team up at the bottom in a minute.
Yeah, but what a midfield though, wasn't it? Phil though, that Tottenham midfield.
I didn't see it. I only saw Hoddle. After that,
There you go. That's enough. Only saw
Yeah.
Hoddle. That's a good midfield. I'll get to it in just a second. I was
Yeah.
just going to say, big thank you again to Simon at Duck Jive One for use of his content. He's got a great lot of Spurs videos and England videos dating way back into our past. If you want to see these games with the original commentary as well, please go over and give his site a like and a subscribe because there's some brilliant stuff on there. It's well worth having on your list.
Yeah, and just on that, Simon, I emailed you the other day, but I've now managed to master what I asked you for. So please, you can disregard that email, but thank you very much for all your support with the videos. Likewise.
Oh, is that anything interesting, Matthew?
Yeah, have you signed for Sky Sports again or something?
Hey mate, well, I can't too much. Not until I finished on the Masked Singer. Me and Adele are going to become a pantomime horse. Actually, oh dear.
I thought my warm one was a bit near the knuckle, but that one's just gone way over the line. We don't even have the VAR to look at that one.
I need to.
But I mean, was this 76, 77? What's this year, Cove?
It is. I think this is September 76, if I remember rightly.
Yeah. I was actually born on the day we played reverse leg at this at Ellen Road. This game.
Do you remember it?
Yeah, we lost 2-0.
Yeah, which end were you born at?
I was born at the
warm end.
that end. The warm end.
He was born on the state side.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. I came out singing the state song.
There we go. There's the team at the bottom of the screen then.
So Hoddle, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, Perryman's there. Ralphie's there. Oh, Hamlet.
No,
man.
he's not Ralph Coates. You know who he is. He is the Hamlet guy. The fella that did the Hamlet.
There he is.
Barry Daines is there as well. He was a shocker, wasn't he?
He was. Oh, Ian Moore's nearly. Oh. Hoddle was actually number 4, by the way, if people are wondering what number. He played 2 seasons in the number 4 shirt, actually, before he took over the number 10 shirt. We have Ben Coughlin said we signed a rabbit called Mr. Nibbles, apparently.
And he's very good at balancing lager and all the different ales. We call him Beatrix.
Yeah. And then Cody Mack sent hi all hope as well, guys. Yeah. Very glad.
Evening, mate.
Just to make sure you're up to date, Cody. Sean.
Oh, it's a good point.
And Sean. Yeah. I don't think Sean heard Cody Mack trying to speak to him, so I think we need to shout a bit louder, Cody, and next Friday when you're speaking to Sean.
It was the sternness of his voice that was just Sean. And
since Cody's here,
he's having a little laugh at that one.
Yeah,
Cody's here, so let's give him a little badge in the corner just for him. There we go.
I was going to say that was going to be my next point. Is I haven't seen any more masterpieces coming in yet, Cody. Are we planning any for this week?
Well,
here we go. Mr. Moondog, Mr. Nibbles. I'm sure he'll be 24 carat signing.
Uh,
I hope Mr. Nibble hops to it quicker than Levy in the transfer window. Wayne Bond
Hey,
down the bottom.
we'll need to get the bun on to confirm that.
Yeah, we do. As Sean likes to call him, Bon.
That's a bit
Very
very
direct to the point. And big up Sean if you're watching, man. Enjoyed your stream last night. It was entertaining, at least.
Oh, that was a great save there.
It was by Barry Daines.
Wayne Bonner, I hope Mr. Nibbles hops to it quicker. Yeah, we've done that one. Oh, Cody Mack, just a bit of update on the colouring. Colouring is a Friday night before Tottenham Tantrum Gold runs riot.
Yeah,
that is the new Coover and Phil show. Just they'll be running that Friday 11 o'clock show. I will not be attending it unless I pop on as a guest if they have me. But that is a Coover and Phil show every Friday night at 11. Tune in for the lads below as they just run riot on dinosaurs and anything else that comes into their little heads.
Now, dinosaurs last week was top trumps. So,
yeah, that's true. I was winning that as well.
What do you remember of this season, Coover, or were you too young to remember?
Very little. I remember sort of going there and cheering a lot. I remember seeing a few goals, but I had no real grasp of the relevance of any of it. I just enjoyed going.
Where did you used to go? The East Stand or the Shelf? Or
I'm assuming I would have been. No, definitely wouldn't have been the Shelf. So I think I must have been Paxton or something.
I think I know where you were. You're the steak side. You're the steak side.
This show's just fallen to pieces already, hasn't it?
Will you start?
Hang on a minute. Let's work out how we started it and why we were a couple of minutes late. Do you want to discuss that one on air?
Yeah, we were waiting for you. To be fair, and I forgot to press go live. Yes, I will admit that.
So we were perfectly live. It's just we had no audience and no one could watch us, but we gave it a good go.
It was your best introduction yet, as well.
Yeah, it was like A1.
It's a lot easier when nobody's watching. Should we get everybody to go?
No,
please unsubscribe and go.
Oh, nearly. Oh, Derek Hutchinson. Good evening, sir. And thank you for joining us again.
Nice to see you again, Derek.
I mean, that stadium, that's proper White Hart Lane, isn't it? Rarely be else East and West Stand. And
oh, boom. Wayne, I wonder if the stakes are high on this game. Oh, I reckon they will be.
I say there would have been. I mean, tough first season for Keith Birkinshaw, wasn't it? Really.
Oh, they scored.
Yeah. And that is, I can't see, it's number 10. I forget, I know who he is, I can't think of his name.
Oh, neighbour. There's a question we could talk about. We could talk about neighbours.
Yes, Phil.
Oh, it was an Oggy. No, it wasn't.
No, it was nearly.
Yeah. Took it down well, and good goal as well. But this Leeds side wasn't the best either, was it, really, at this time? There's great Pat Jennings on the bench there.
Why is he on the bench then?
Well, Keith Birkinshaw didn't really use him much this season. He preferred Barry Daines to Pat Jennings.
I remember Barry Daines being that good, but I do kind of have an inkling Pat Jennings was pretty special.
Pat Jennings. I mean, it's the only player.
Yeah.
You what, Keith?
I've heard it mentioned that Pat Jennings might be quite useful.
I mean, he's the only player to go to Arsenal and get a standing ovation by the Tottenham fans when he comes back to White Hart Lane.
Mark, he's asking which game this is. His blasted phone was playing up. This is Spurs versus Leeds from 1976, September 1976.
With a young Glenn Hoddle in the team.
And a young Stevie P who was captain, I think.
Was he full-time captain then, or was he just... He was?
I think Steve Perriman became captain once Keith Birkinshaw. He was second in command under Bill Nick and Terry Naylor. But he was full-time captain when Keith Beckinshaw took over.
Boom, boom. Wayne Bonner. God,
Do you want to do this one, Phil?
Yeah, there you do it.
Okay. I wonder if Neighbour was a good player home and away. I'll get my coat. Yeah, I think it's for the best, mate. It was nice knowing you, mate. Good input for the evening.
And this is us sitting back for the next 89 minutes and just holding on to a 1-0 lead, I think.
That pun was
sign of things to come. Jose. Who's that?
Oh, he is injured. He is probably.
Would you class Leeds a really dirty side in the 70s, Cooper, for what you've seen over the years?
Would I class Leeds in the 70s as a good side?
No, dirty
early 70s they definitely were.
Yeah.
It was Don Reevy's side, wasn't it? But they faded away as teams tend to after a while. But I don't know. I mean, I was way too young to really have any sort of grasp on tactics and overall performances back here. I just remember it was fun cheering when we scored goals, and the atmosphere was great.
Yeah. What year did you first go to Tottenham, Phil?
80, something like that. 1980. First game I saw was Spurs v Liverpool, if I remember correctly, which of course I do. We won 2-0. Garth Crooks and Archibald both scored. So it was nice times.
That's when Tottenham had a good side.
And Mark's asking, is this the year we were relegated or was it the year after?
No, it's the year we were relegated this year, sadly. But we didn't go down without a fight. I think we put a good fight at the end, but I think the start we had to that season just never recovered from it. We had
what was the start of that season then?
I'll find out for you, but I think we lost our first 5 games on the trot, I think, something like that. I think we finished second bottom, I think, as well. But it wasn't a great season for us.
I was going to say that looked like a bit of a Hoddle strike there.
Yeah. Of course, he looks older there than he does in the 80s, doesn't it?
It's strange.
Good save for the floor.
That was close.
I'm getting it up for you now, Phil.
I wish you'd say that differently.
Just your dirty mind you get.
Again, no goalkeeper gloves there for Mr. Harry Danes.
It's probably because he was nice and warm.
Yeah.
In our first 11 games, we lost 6 times, drawn 2, won 3.
Not good, is it?
No, and then we were never consistent. We were just, I mean, we lost to West Ham United 5-3. We lost to Bristol City 1-0.
Bristol City?
Yeah.
Jesus.
But we drew with Arsenal. And then we actually lost to them. We actually won our last game 2-0, but we were relegated.
Oh, that's some poor decision making there, isn't it?
Seems so.
Wonder how many goals were scored from 40 yards after a 100-yard run.
Not many.
See, if that happened now, you'd be raging at Hugo if he didn't just catch that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, of course.
You really would. 76-77, the Football League that year, Liverpool won the league. Stoke, Sunderland and Tottenham were relegated from the first division that season.
I just remember that it was one of those seasons where it was like one victory difference would have saved anybody in the bottom 3.
Yeah,
there was about 6 or 7 teams all in danger of going down, right to the very last. But unfortunately, we were one of them.
Yeah,
Or fortunately, perhaps that's what made us coming back with bouncing back from that.
I think it did, Cooper. I think it was rallies what made us go on that another successful bit of a run, didn't it?
Indeed,
You know,
indeed.
if we stayed in, would we have got Ozzy and Ricky when we did?
What's
Who
it's the
knows?
momentum when you come back up again, isn't it? Well,
Yeah,
this must be a lot shorter highlights than I thought. This is half time already. We're only 20 minutes in.
yeah. But there's the old White Hart Lane. I mean, it's such a it's gone through some changes over the years, but there was always this same spirit there, wasn't there? From when it was open until the last game, there was always a spirit at that stadium, which I don't think the new stadium will ever get. There'd be a different soul in that stadium, but I don't think it'd be the same as we got here. Would you agree, Phil, or not?
Do you know what? No, that
You've
volume.
been there, so that's why I'm asking you.
Yeah, if you're in that south side, when it's going. The trouble is we've been pretty shite since we've been in that stadium, so it's done it. But all I can, oh Jesus,
Well,
all I imagine is 17,000 people sat in the south stand there cheering on is one hell of an atmosphere. It is proper loud in there, and it's immense, and it's they had to do it. It had to be done.
it was a shame, though, wasn't it? Though.
Ooh, do you know? They asked the question now whether it's dirty Leeds.
Yeah,
He'd be gone for that. Be gone for that today, wouldn't he?
Oh, straight away. Wouldn't even go to VAR, would it?
No. Sean put this question to me.
Hang on a minute. What's he doing there?
See, it feels dirty mind again.
No, it was just like it looked like he stood on the outside of his thigh, but that's not where he was rubbing.
Just a quick note: the manager of Leeds was part of the Leeds early '70s side.
It came up and said Lorimer. Is that Peter Lorimer?
Yeah, there's He was part of the Don Revie side of the early '70s. Brian Clough really didn't like that team, did he? I know they lasted 44 days when he went there to manage them. If anyone's watched The Damn United, it's a good film, that.
Still a travesty. He never managed England, isn't it?
It is.
Do you really think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think he would have won? Do you think he would have won you a World Cup if he was in charge?
Well, all I would look at is the evidence of he was with Nottingham Forest in the second division. He got them promoted the following season. So his first season after promotion, he won the first division against the Liverpool side, and then won and retained the European Cup.
For a
It's
team
very
of
difficult.
guys, yeah.
Was it him, or was it him and Peter Taylor that made it?
Oh no, it was both of them, but Clough wouldn't have got it on his own.
Mike Cousins put here the year after we beat Bristol City Rovers 9-0. Yes, that was a great game. I forget who got 4 goals in that game. Do you remember, Coof?
Jones. I'm sure it was a Jones.
Yeah, that should have been in.
2 players scored 4 goals for Tottenham that day.
So Derek, I prefer the old stadium back in the day. Just on that, Derek, have you been able to get to the new stadium now? Just wonder what your thoughts were on it.
Just a quick question to you, Phil. I think I've asked Cooper, but Sean asked me the other day. Do you think we could be still successful in the old White Hart Lane, or did we definitely have to build a new ground to move up to another level?
Absolutely. Income. It's all about income now.
Colin Lee, that's who scored 4 goals.
Colin Lee,
that's him. Yeah. Yeah, no, they had to unfortunately, to be able to pay the money to the top players. If we think we're hard done by in the transfer market now, if we were still at the old White Hart Lane, it wouldn't have got any better. It just would have been. It would have been a thankless task.
So you agree with what they did then?
Yeah,
They had to.
Yeah.
But I get the old stadium, and they've put it where the old one was. So at least you're not travelling to new places or new areas of London or anything like that. It's still pretty much, well, not pretty much. There've been centre circles in the bar behind the ground, but
I mean,
Go on.
sorry, Coof, go ahead. Sorry,
I was going to say, for me, obviously, old White Hart Lane's got all the memories for me, but it's just one of those moves that has to be done. You can't ignore that extra amount of capacity. It's huge. We'd be falling way behind on the long run if we didn't do it.
I mean, White Hart Lane was what, 36,000?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the new one is 62, so that's, what did I say, 36? So that's another 26,000.
Yeah.
You do 26 lots of 50 quid every week, every home game. That's an immense amount of money.
Has it got the same sort of near the pitch like the old stadium do, or is there a bit of a gap?
Yeah, it's pretty close to it. I mean, it's not.
Yeah, they made a deliberate attempt to do that and try and make it quite intimidating at the making our own version of a cop end, really, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean certainly the south stand is just. I'll tell you what, Leeds finishing is shocking.
I mean, he wanted to take us to Stratford, didn't he? At one point, take us completely out of North London. I mean, I don't know. Was it you said it to me, Coover? But he would love to take us into central London, take us out of Tottenham completely, if he had his way.
Well, he would have happily gone to the London Stadium, yeah.
Do you reckon that was a genuine from him? I mean, we all know what he's like, so I probably would say, yeah.
It was genuine.
Yeah, would have saved an awful lot of money. Does that sound like Levy?
Yeah. Hang on. If West Ham hadn't got kicked up as much fuss as he did, we would have been there instead of where we are now.
Yeah, Steve Fraser. Hi, everyone. Yeah, we had to 100%. That's obviously the stadium. And you have to say they've done a good job. We could have ended up in Stratford. And it's a stunner. I'm taking it Stratford isn't a stunner. That's not a stadium you'd want to be in, is it?
Well, I worked all around there during the Olympics and I saw that stadium being built, and believe me, it's not. You do need binoculars to look at the pitch.
It's an Olympic stadium. It's an athletic stadium, isn't it? Not a football stadium.
No. Mark Cousins there. It was Colin Lee's debut, and he scored 4. So Google just told me. Yeah, that is true. It was his debut. And the 60 stadium for Derek Hutchinson. 60 stadium was electric with 60,000 full house. Yeah, you could.
You think. That south stand, if it's got 17,000 seats in it and they took them all out and made it standing, you think how many you could fit in that stadium in the south stand?
I mean, the 60s White Hart Lane with the Super Spurs, and that must have been a great place to be, mustn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
So you can see
you know what?
Face
it's like it wouldn't have mattered if you'd watch it at Hackney Marshes. If you're playing good football and winning games, then it's already good, isn't it?
Yeah. So let me ask you this then. I want to play devil's advocate with you, Phil. If we were taken out of North London, put into East London in the Stratford Stadium, but we were playing brilliant football, would it bother you?
There's still so much that goes with it, and it's like Tottenham is North London. It's how do you claim a derby with the scum if we go and do exactly what we all moan at them for doing? I wouldn't have wanted to be there. The stadium was poor. The whole setup was poor. I don't know whether we did it to try and honestly pursue it, or whether there was an ulterior motive with it.
He also wanted to see could he play at Wembley as well. That was another thing to move there permanently. That's the end of the game.
That's it. That was quick.
Yeah.
Wonder why the video.
Right, well, thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, that we'll find another one if you want to put another one on.
Yeah, I'll have a look.
We are. I was talking to Phil later. We are looking to put together a bit of a special on Bill Nick. I have got all the details. It's just a case of putting it all together. But Bill Nick's life as a life and times as a player and a manager of Tottenham Hotspur. So that's we should be doing soon. I'm looking forward to that one. I think Phil is as well, aren't you?
Yeah, of course.
And we'll probably do one on Arthur Row as well. That excites me, the Arthur Row one, because that's the push and run side of 50-51, which was a magical side.
Fancy watching Spurs play Manchester United when United had George Best and Bobby Charlton?
Yes, please.
Okay, let's do that one then.
You can bit a bit of Georgie Best.
Unless, of course, unless you're Gareth Bale. Don't you think, Ben?
He had his own song, didn't he? Georgie Best, the boy. What was it? The Belfast Boy, I think, was it, or something along them lines.
Can't remember.
George Best had his own '60s hit. He was the first proper football superstar, wasn't he, George Best in the '60s?
Probably, yeah. But again, was that because of his off-field antics?
Oh, Phil. Even Pele said he was better than him. For Pele to say George Best was better than Pele,
and what do you think?
Something.
So if you could go back in time and you could sign either George Best or Pele, who would you sign?
Georgie Best all day long.
Dermot. Dermot. That was Dermot. Cuba.
Oh, it's a tough one, that. I don't know. I think I probably would go for George Best, actually. Just right. I mean, Pele, I think, has the biggest accolades and the biggest sort of big up, if you like, from his fellow professionals. But there was something about George Best. Got to love an amazing dribbler at the game.
Is this from Duck Drive as well? Is it, Koof?
Oh yes, it is indeed. So we'll give him another big up for that.
Right, I'm just looking for it now. There we go.
I mean, who you can't beat a bit of Georgie.
Oh, a lot in the chat there. A lot of people picking Georgie over Pele.
Yeah. Well, see, Pele was great, but Pele never did it in Europe. He only did it in South America. And a lot of their matches weren't being... You only saw Pele in World Cups. George Best, you saw him every week from the age of 18 or 17, 18 playing for Man United. Yeah, a lot of his off-field antics did get him into trouble, but...
All right. And if you could pick between Jimmy
Hang
Greaves...
on, I just take that off and so we can see you, Phil.
Yeah, sorry. If you could pick between Jimmy Greaves and George Best...
Well, they both could drink, that's for sure. That's a tough one. Ask Hoover. I've got to really think about that one.
Jimmy Greaves, definitely. He's proven himself a Spurs legend. You just can't.
Yeah.
You can't imagine not having him as Spurs legend.
Jimmy Greaves just ahead of Georgie Best, I think. But they were both brilliant on what they did. Jimmy Greaves was an exceptional world class.
Certainly no doubt in that. That's why I gave you such a stinker of a... Well, I say a stinker of a choice. You can't really lose with that, can you? Oh no,
Absolutely.
I didn't get Jimmy Greaves, so I've ended up with George Best. Not exactly a struggle, but
I mean if George Best had been playing for us instead of Jimmy Greaves, he would have been voted our best ever player as well, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, the great Bill Nick was manager of this team as well, the 72 team, which actually won the UEFA Cup this season. No, 72-73, we won the League Cup this season, sorry. This is the season we won the League Cup.
Just going to kick in, Andy. Good afternoon, Andy. Nice to see you. Again, like with us, Jimmy Greaves all day long.
Yeah.
I think that's a new one, Andy James, 63.
Yeah,
welcome.
I don't recognise the name, so welcome to Tottenham Tantrum Goal.
And I hope you enjoy what we show you, because we have some great things coming up. We have people doing the all-time Spurs 11. We've got doing profile. I think we're going to do some player profiles and profile managers of our great club. So we're going to take you right back to the basics of Tottenham Hotspur and show you why we're such a great club.
That's Stevie Perryman tracking him there. Yeah.
Yep.
I would love to do. I would love to get Cooper's Spurs story and Phil's Spurs story as well, and talk about let them talk about their experiences of supporting Tottenham and what it means to them. Also, I would love to do that as well. That'd be a great one for you two because you two've seen it all. I mean, I'm the baby of the group, and I've saw my fair share. But
Should we
Cooper,
describe it in one word, Cooper, and just go disappointing?
Declining.
Yeah.
I mean, I said to Phil the other day, today, didn't I, Phil, about doing the rise and fall of Spurs in the 80s? I mean, it really was the rise and fall, wasn't it? Start of the 80s, we were winning cups and everything. By the end of the decade, we were nearly going out of business. With a little dip in the middle.
I suppose, yeah, end of the decade, beginning of the 90s, certainly.
Yeah. When was the best decade for you, football-wise, for Tottenham? Which decade
80s.
do you look back? Do you look back and
80s.
think,
Yay!
yeah, that was Martin Peters?
Yeah, 20 minutes.
There's the Hamlet man.
80s, 3 big trophies, and we were there or thereabouts. So even when we, in 82, we won the FA Cup, lost in the final to the League Cup, literally 2 minutes to go. Oh, is that Alan Hansen up there? That's shocking.
No, that's Martin Peters.
I know. Just looks like Alan Hansen. It's like, that's awful defendant. You won't win anything with this lot. Yeah, the 80s, because, League Cup final in...
Was that a Scottish accent? All right.
Sounded like a very bad version of it.
Yeah.
Can I just say thanks for everyone who's watching us on Twitter as well. So good evening to you all. We had 50 people watching us on Twitter on yesterday. So thank you very much for everyone that's tuned in and watched our stream yesterday of the North London Derby. Really enjoyed it. Also, we've got the big game this week at Leicester now. Do you think we'll win that, lads, on Wednesday?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I think we will. Leicester are missing an Iheanacho and that idiot up front, Vardy, so a little bit depleted there.
Still an away game though, isn't it?
Yeah.
They are organised, so it's still going to be tough.
And Maddison's on a bit of form. So just a message in from Ellie. Good evening, Ellie.
Good evening, Ellie.
Lads. The line cut off on my call earlier as I went to answer. Love you, lads, in your show. Peter scoring, put the cherry on the cake.
Big up, Ellie. So you're both going for the 80s then, yeah?
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'll go for the 80s as well, actually.
Trophies. You can't beat trophies.
No. If you could pick, though...
Sorry, I was just going to say one other thing, Dermot. In the 80s, we had Hoddle and Gascoigne. Maybe not together, but you saw them both.
And Waddle.
Yeah,
Can't forget
those two are godlike territory, aren't they?
Yeah.
There's Georgie Best in full flight. I mean, people always compared Ryan Giggs to him. Did you think Ryan Giggs was like a George Best type player?
Well, he's the most decorated footballer of Premier League history, so there's a lot to be said for that. Burst on the scene at 17, got better and better, still going till he's mid-30s, so it's hard pushed to...
You'd have to say Giggs is the better professional, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So,
but for raw
professional
talent,
footballer.
Yeah, for raw talent, though, Georgie Best or Ryan Giggs?
Best.
Yeah, Best is the better talent, but
Yeah.
Again, what age was he when he quit Man U? 26, something like that.
He only played 10 years.
28, I think, was it?
Yeah, he started at 18, finished at 28.
Yeah, so 10 years, whereas Giggs did 17, 18.
Mm-hmm. We've got this one here from Andy James. He says, "Hello lads, I'm a 58-year-old Spurs fan, fanatic. Martin Shivers is responsible. 2 goals, League Cup final, job done." We can't say much more than that, can you?
No, can't.
So good evening, Andy James, and again, thank you for joining our channel.
Yeah, Ellie. We win
Ellie
trophies
said
galore.
sorry, Phil.
Yeah, no, go on.
We win trophies galore before now. 1 in 21 years under the Scrooge at White Hart Lane. Thumbs down. Yeah, I mean, there's not much more you can say in it. I mean, you can't just go around in circles, really, isn't it? I mean, we all know how we all feel about Mr. Scrooge, and about time he left our club. But big up Brian Daigle as well for doing all he's doing. He's the man that will keep the fight going for us all Spurs fans. But leave you out. Andy James said Hoddle. I think that was Coover's favourite player of the 80s, was it, Coover?
Oh, one of them. Yeah, I suppose it is. Everybody wanted to be Glenn Hoddle when they were growing up in my age group, anyway. But gotta love Graham Roberts. Gotta love Steve Perryman. There's, in fact, so many Archibald Crooks. Just so many heroes.
Gascoigne, Waddle.
Well, my friends and I would as we're passing it around, playing up, just throw a couple of coats down and playing with the ball. We'd be going through the whole team, passing it, going through all the names.
For you, Phil, who was your favourite player of the Spurs in the early 80s?
Hoddle.
Yeah.
Just had everything, didn't he? Just had everything.
I'm actually going to go for Garth Crooks. I thought he just gave everything when he came on. Not as prolific as Steve Archibald, but he gave 100% every time he went on that pitch, and got the equaliser in the '81 Cup final. I mean, what more could you wish for? And if you ever watch Ricky's goal, right, watch what Garth Crooks does. As Ricky Villa hits it, he hits it at the same time with his foot, like he's going hit it. You can see him moving his leg. So I noticed it the other day. So,
who's not going to want a Wembley goal?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Mark Cousins, 80s for me. 3 cups in 1 decade, which is all we've had in the last 30 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we did the same in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. The start of each decade, we won a cup in the first 3 years.
That's my biggest regret, not being born, so I could see the 60s side, because Super Spurs was everything.
Andy James 63. If you're Wayne Bonner saying at James 63. If you're new, go through the channel. The stream with Steve Perryman a couple of weeks back. Yeah, I still pinch myself. We actually spoke to Steve Perryman to be honest with you.
Awesome.
Friday week, Andy, it was. So
yeah,
but feel free. It's in the playlist.
Yeah. We got I Love Ben Davis. Morning, Ben. Hope you're all right for tomorrow, mate, and play well for us. He said, I would much rather have all the history than have it all bought.
Yeah,
I agree with that. Spot on, Ben Davis. So, if you don't play well tomorrow, we'll send our bottom fellow after you to sort you out.
Although if Mr. Bezos does come in and says, "Here's £3 billion, we're going to build the greatest team ever," I won't turn it down.
I was going to say, I'm not turning it down.
Martin
Given the
Peets
choice
is
to do
actually
it through the youth and development, but do you know what? Take anything. Now, after all these years, take anything.
Yeah, Martin Peets scored a hat trick there.
Nice.
Tottenham 3-0 up. Andy James 63. McNabb wasn't too bad either. No, McNabb was very good. He was one of them dependable players. Graham Roberts, go on, Coop. This is your man.
Just the rock in the team, wasn't he? If Stevie P wasn't about, Graham Roberts was the vice captain. He would pick up the reins and he'd give you everything. He really would. Keep saying it. He said he'd run through brick walls, and he's one of the few players where you genuinely believe it. He really would do for the team. And amount of crunching tackles he's involved in, and the amount of shithousery from him as well was brilliant. Absolutely loved it. You need somebody like that in the team, because the other teams are going to do it. You want somebody on your side that's going to counter it. None better than Graham Roberts.
Yeah, and also if you are watching with your daughter, Mr. Roberts, thank you for watching and good evening to you.
Definitely.
We've got Carl Simpson. Evening, gents. Good evening, Carl. Thanks for joining
Evening,
us
Carl.
again. And then the last there, Andy James. Cheers, Wayne. Watched it, loved it. Captain Fantastic. Yeah. What
Yeah.
can you say?
It's
Phil.
just Steve Berryman. So much to say though. He could have carried on talking for 8 hours. I would have been sat there hooked the whole time.
We're going to have to try to do a part 2 with him. We're going to have to try to do a part 2 with him.
If we can, it'll be brilliant.
Yeah, it won't be for the lack of trying, that's for certain.
No.
But...
Phil, you look at the early 60s side and the early 70s side. The Bill Nick built two great sides, and I know the 60s side was better because we did the double. But do you think the early 70s side was just as good, but because they won a UEFA Cup and 2 League Cups? Do you think he what was missing for them winning the league, the early 70s side? Or do you think it's just one of them things where we just became a good cup side?
No, I think becoming a good side is about being inconsistent, isn't it? You know, if you're consistent, you win leagues. If you're good occasionally, you win cups. And you know, the 60s side was consistent, and it won. And unfortunately, the 70s wasn't quite as consistent. So that's where we were caught short.
I think, if I'm right, Cooper, we nearly did the double in '62, didn't we? If we won the league, we would have done the double.
We've had this sort of thing several times over our history, going very close to multiple trophies in one season, and then ending up missing out on maybe a couple of them each time. It's so close so many times. It's really frustrating. But at the end of the day, trophies were still coming in, so I wouldn't swap that sort of period for anything really.
Yeah, I mean, the 60 side was brilliant when you had Danny Blanche, Farrer, Jimmy Greaves then from 62. But people seem to forget, without Jimmy Greaves, we had Bobby Smith, we had a great John White, Dave Mackay. That 60 side, without Jimmy Greaves, was brilliant. When they bought Jimmy Greaves, they just brought him up to another level, didn't they? They had that point. Where would you rank Bill Nick in the list of all-time great managers in the First Division, liked against a Busby and Shankly and all them great managers? Where would you rate him?
That's really difficult. That's a really big sort of in-depth conversation, that one. Yeah. Very difficult comparing different eras and different circumstances. Like for me personally, the greatest manager I've ever seen is Brian Clough.
Really?
Just because he achieved what he did from basically a nothing, a nobody.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I would have to go for Jock Stein of Celtic, for me personally.
Oh, well, you can count the Scottish League as well. Okay. I don't know enough about it to comment.
Well, no. If you're going just on the First Division, I'd probably have to go for, I'd say, Bill Shankly, the way he brought Liverpool up from the Second Division and moulded them into probably one of the most successful sides in the 70s, 80s. Really, but Brian Clough would be up there as well. I do agree with you on that. Phil?
Yeah, it'd be tough ask between the two, and and then you're like, do you bring Fergie into that? Because if you're talking about his record, it still stands. Yes, times were different. He had a monopoly on money and all that sort of stuff, but you're going to be hard pushed to get past Brian Clough. We talked about it earlier. Won the Second Division, came up and won the First Division. I mean, could you imagine? That'd be like Norwich this season winning the Premier League.
And back-to-back European Cups.
Yeah.
It's just incredible. And he could literally pick players out of non-league and turn them into superstars.
Yeah. Martin O'Neill, Larry Lloyd, these are Gary Birtles. These are not well-renowned stars where Fergie went and bought. He did the development, but where he went and bought a Varane and stuff like that, he was buying, like I said, Larry Lloyd out of who I don't even know what league he came for, but whatever it was, they were not big players. They were, when they were bought, they were good enough to make a difference in the Second Division. and then they stepped forward and made a difference in the first division. Then they stepped forward again and made a difference in the European scene.
I mean,
they did have that one winger though, didn't they? The Scotsman, was it Robertson?
John Robinson.
John Robertson, yeah. He was
or Archie Gemmell.
I think John Robertson was the one you'd say probably genius sort of player.
You know, he'd done it with Derby as well. We seem to forget that. He'd done the same thing with Derby.
Yeah. And he did, obviously, he was the manager of the first £1 million
Trevor Francis.
Sold him less than 2 years later. I think everyone forgets that. And weirdly, sold him to Birmingham. You know, it's like, where did Birmingham get £1 million from?
Well, he was
relatively
bought from
big team back then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, Birmingham sold him. So they actually paid back. But, I mean, you had the likes of Bill Nick in the early 60s. Matt Busby, again, another great manager for what he did with the Busby Babes and then the 58 air crash and building that Man United up again. I mean, I don't think of managers now. I know it's different times now, but I think managers then were proper managers, not like today. They're in control of the club. Bill Nick run Tottenham. Matt Busby ran Man United. Bill Shankly ran Liverpool, top to bottom. It's not like today, where you bring in a player. Brian Clough ran Nottingham Forest. So it's not like today where you bring in a manager. Your job's only to do the players. Back then, they ran the club from top to bottom. And I think they deserve more credit than they deserve. So you would think, I mean, I asked you before, but I don't think I've got your answer, Phil. No, Coover. Would have Brian Clough won England the World Cup if he was, would he have qualified you for the World Cups in 74 and 78 if he was England manager?
Impossible to tell, isn't it? He seemed to thrive the most. Like perhaps you could argue a bit like Pochettino when he's working with the younger players, players without the egos and everything. But if you get to England level, you're probably working with an awful lot of egos. He might not have got on with that. There might have been a bit of feathers flying. It's just too hard to tell, mate.
A bit like Leeds when he walked in, throw your medals in the bin.
Yeah, perhaps.
You haven't won them. Oh Lord, I still find that funny. Throw your medals in the bin. You didn't deserve any of them.
I always like the quote from old Big Ed though. My favourite of the lot was, "I wouldn't say I'm the greatest manager in the world, but I'm in the top one."
Do you think Jose Mourinho, when he first came over, was a bit like modern day of Brian Clough, sort of back in the 70s? Do you think the way he was that sort of big of himself?
Different kind of confidence, I think.
Yeah.
It's stuff you want to watch the press conference for, though, isn't it? I mean, there's much as I hated Chelsea when Mourinho was there, I did enjoy having a peek at what he was going to say.
Yeah. You know,
the whole war with Wenger.
The other bit I like with Brian Clough is there was one where you see him at a training session and someone goes over to take the corner and he's like, "What are you doing?" He says, "I don't pay you to take corners. I pay you to score goals. Get in the middle of the ball, get in the middle of the goal and put the ball in the net. Otherwise, I won't pay you." And it literally was just like, "Yeah."
Is that Brian Clough?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it? One that saw video. If what was it? Something shooting from there, or something along. It was shouting at some player. Do you know?
It might have been Gary Birtles. I can't remember. There's one I remember. He was they were playing against Leeds, and I think it was Birtles anyway. But he decided he would go and mark Billy Bremner.
Yeah,
and he did a good marking job on Billy Bremner. And at full time, Brian Clough said to him, "Who told you to mark Billy Bremner?" And he thought, "Oh my God, I'm in trouble with the boss here."
Yeah.
And he said, "Well, I just thought it'd be a good idea." And he goes, "Well, it was a good idea because he's a good player and you aren't."
I forgot.
Right. Truth sets you free. I think they deserve more credit than they deserve. St. Dermot with the line of the day.
Yeah.
That's a
That's a Dermot.
Coleman type thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Ellie,
I think the best
Chivers.
comment of the day is me at the start saying, before while I was being kept warm.
No, I think I prefer that. They deserve more credit than they deserve. That's just
Oh,
that's worthy
yeah,
of a little book thing.
yeah.
Ellie saying, Chivers, what a great striker. Also bought from Southampton, like my club favourite Højbjerg. That is defo a well documented. Not
Yeah.
it's well documented by now.
I didn't know that was her favourite play. I thought it was somebody
She
else.
should have
But
mentioned it. I would never
yeah,
have known.
Yeah,
yeah,
he
yeah.
kept it
This,
so
Come on, Ellie.
well hidden.
What's going on with you,
that's
darling?
new. That's news for us. That is. But well, listen. Can I ask
Secret
people that are
crush, isn't
watching?
it? Yeah.
Has the buzzing stopped? I know these two lads are telling me it has. But can you tell me if the buzzing has stopped? If you can, I'd be very grateful. Because I bought some new headphones, so hopefully that should have. Why are you checking your head for?
No, sounds all right.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Perhaps other people pick something up. I don't know.
Yeah.
Seems all right though. Derek Hutchinson saying Alex Ferguson, Bill Shankly were great managers. Certainly were. I mean, you can't win all those truckloads of trophies without being a great manager, can you?
I think the best manager never to win a trophy. I mean, I love watching his Newcastle side was Kevin Keegan. I mean, the fella was
He was not a good manager.
well. The way he entertained people with his Newcastle side was.
Anyone can entertain, but it's a bit like saying Aussie was, Aussie style. Keegan, and again, Keegan blew it. 12 points ahead they were. It was theirs to lose.
He was a bit unhinged, wasn't he? At some point.
Well, it's a stressful world, isn't it? And
I
when you
love
see
it.
things slipping
I
away
love
from
it if
you,
we beat them. Love it. I mean, that,
people say about us being bottle jobs. But,
yeah.
I mean, those title races we were in, we were always chasing. We didn't. It wasn't theirs for us to throw away really at any point.
No.
But Newcastle throwing away a 12-point lead, that is bottling it because it is.
Man United did the same as well, didn't they, against Leeds?
not 12 points.
No.
Was it not 12 points?
No, nowhere near.
Anyway, Kev Williams, evening, mate. Says, what's your thoughts on, please, on Wednesday's game versus Leicester? Dermot, do you want to go first on that?
I think we're doing a watch along. I'm not sure. If we are, you can watch it here with me and Kluber on Top Potential Gold. I think we'll beat Leicester 3-0. I really do. I think we'll get a 3-0 win and we'll get back to winning ways. We're the mighty Tottenham Hotspur. We don't fail.
I'm going to have to ask the question, but David, will you be back from Cuckoo Land by Wednesday?
Yeah, I will be. Yeah, I'll be streaming from Deluded Land. Yeah, I will be there. Yes.
The Evian is half empty.
I'm actually drinking Red Bull tonight. Funnily enough.
Does anybody else think we're going to win 3-0? Just in the comments.
Go on, Coop. What's your thoughts on Wednesday, man?
I've got this feeling of 1-0, but it's going to be a tough game.
No, actually, I changed my mind. I'm going for 4-1 because Bob Spur always picks 4-1. So for Bob Spur, I'm going for 4-1 Tottenham. So that'll be nice. Prediction.
I'll tell you what. Yeah. When he's back up and out, there's no way he'd be going 4-1 for this game against Leicester. The guy's smart.
He always does 4-1.
Yeah. But big up Bob Spur and Kim as well, and Arthur and Arthur's wife. I keep forgetting Arthur's wife's name.
I'm hoping Wayne Bonner comes through, so I'm jumping straight to that one.
What's Arthur's wife's name?
Iris.
Iris. Big up. I hope you're all well, and we'll have to get Arthur on here because I love listening to Arthur. He's so good. Love listening to his experience and watching Spurs through the years.
I'll still say get all three of them: Arthur, Iris, and Kim.
Yeah. Iris is a star in our own right, as well. The whole family are.
Yeah. They're naturals to the camera. Yeah.
Martin Peters got 4.
So Wayne Bonner's going with the very good. Actually, if that's going to be the score, Coo, can you put a quid on for me? Because I would say you might get probably 2-1 on that, maybe even 3-1.
I like Kev Williams
So,
sort of thing. I love Dermot's enthusiasm. I'll have to agree with him. I'll go for a 1-2 Spurs.
the 78-0 though, with Kane to score
Yeah,
50. Sorry, Phil. I'm not wasting my money on stupid
yeah.
bets like that. It's got to be both teams to score.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely brilliant. I like that 78 nil. I love Ben Davis going for 3-1, maybe, but 3-0 if Dyer's back and we're up for it. Depends on the attitude. Again,
Dyer's
doesn't it?
not
It all
back, is
depends on
he?
attitude.
Dyer's not
Derek
back.
Hutchison is going for 2-2. Is that more realistic, do you think, you two?
No, I think 2-1.
Mike Cousins, Harry loves a good goal, loves a goal against Leicester, 2-1 to us. Amir Sada. Am I saying that correctly, Keith?
Yeah,
Think so,
I think
yeah.
so. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen you before, so welcome to
we
the
have. We have.
channel.
Yeah,
Have we?
Amir
Okay.
has been with us before.
Yeah.
Welcome back,
Okay.
mate.
Well, welcome back, Emma. I'm loving the channel, lads. I wish our squad would learn from some of the greats of the old. We have some. We have some of the biggest legends in the game. I'm in the game. So proud to be Spurs, Coys. Let's bring back the glory days.
Absolutely, mate.
Yeah, that's
Well
star.
said.
That is star comment of the day. That is star comment of the day for me. Big up to Ramir. Absolutely perfectly put. And then Ellie, then the queen of all the Spurs channels, where Guguma is the empress, Ellie's the queen of the Spurs channels, and she's put. I love Brian Clough saying, if God wanted us to play football in the clouds, he would have he would have put breath there. That's true. I remember him saying that as well. MS and big up True Sets 3. Then Wayne Bonner's going 78-1, Hugo to score an own goal.
That's more like it. That's worth a punt.
Yeah, now
Yeah.
he's talking.
And then Kev Williams has put, let's hope you can get to 1K soon. Super chats can be attractive, can be activated, and I believe I'd like to buy you both a super chat drink, boys.
Cheers.
Thank you very much. If you do, do you want to put that? Do you want to put the one with the link up there, Phil?
Yeah.
At the moment, while we're doing that, you can, if you want to, donate to our PayPal to our. Go on, Phil. You let people know.
Okay, looks like end of the game.
Yeah, Spurs 4, Manchester United 1. Go on then, Phil. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say that we have put a donations button on the homepage. It's in the banners in the top right hand corner. There's no obligation for it because it's a free channel. We're just grateful that you come and watch. But if you did want to subscribe, if you did want to donate, then you are more than welcome, and anything would be gratefully received in our pursuit of some more top guests. We have a lot that we're trying to get done, so we're not going to sort of tell you anything now, but we are working very hard to try and get these.
Yeah. Are we going to put another game on there too, are we? Or what
We could do if you want to. We've got I've got the next one flows on from it quite nicely. Spurs playing Derby, and it's a chance to see Jimmy Greaves' last Spurs goal.
Okay, yeah, I'm up for that. You're right with that, Phil?
Yeah.
And can I say thank you to Phil, who's doing a new intro at the moment. So big up to you, Phil, for doing that. And also Cooper for doing a brand new logo behind. He's done an absolute fantastic job on it. Absolutely brilliant. So thank you very much for doing that, Cooper, and Phil as well for doing thing. This was Dave Mackay's first game back at White Hart Lane after joining Derby. And there's the Spurs team. Jennings, Knowles, Kinnear, Knowles, Mullery, England, Beale, Pearce, Reeves, Gazine, Perriman, Morgan, and I didn't get the bottom one. So this was Jimmy Greaves' last game, wasn't it? More last goal for Tottenham.
Last goal for Spurs in this game, apparently.
I still wonder why Bill Nick got rid of him. I'm sure he knew something more. I mean, Greaves at this time was doing a lot of rallying and stuff like that, and I think he was losing his love for football. Do you think that would have been in Bill Nick's sort of interest of, right, it's time to freshen it up a bit?
It's
I think
possible.
I think there was always more going on. I think Bill Nick didn't just go for the player and the skill; it was the whole buy-in. So it's the skill, the commitment. So if we take our people like, I don't know who we got, Tanguy. So Tanguy would get nowhere with Bill Nicholson because not a team player. Yes, he's got all the skill in the world, but wouldn't get a look in a Bill Nick side. I don't think.
But Carl Simpson saying here, I hope Leicester don't try to get the game off, as they have 10 first-team players out. I'm sure they can't. What?
Want some
What?
breaking news?
Oh, please, God, give us some good news. Have we signed somebody?
Okay, so do you want some news? Eric Lamella's Rabona for Tottenham against Arsenal. Against the Scum wins the Puskas Award.
Yippee!
So the only sort of thing we're going to celebrate under Levy, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I like Phil's optimism. Right, do you want some breaking news? Have we signed anyone? Okay, just news then.
It was a good. To be fair, it was a good goal, wasn't it?
It was a good goal.
Should have been a win.
But again, we lost the game, and then he got sent off. So what a tool!
Yeah. All right. Carl Simpson says, I hope Leicester don't try and get. We read that one. So, yeah. At least put Dermot. Get my name right. It is my name. I can't even say it. Dermot, Cooper, and Phil. You're the three kings of Orient. Thank you, Ellie. And then she goes, no, not Leighton Orient. Truth Sets Free says, PayPal is easy too. Put the link in the chat, St. Dermot. Do you want to do that, Phil? Or do you want me to do it?
No, if you do it.
Could you do it? If you can. I'll do it then, sure. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I've got the link on here. Sorry.
What? Okay, let you read out the next comments while I'm doing that.
What legends. So much respect for you guys. Keep up all the great work with the channel. 3-1 against the Foxes. Good. Can't wait for the FA Cup match. Will be my first match in the stadium. I'll big up to you, Amir. You'll enjoy. You'll have to come and give us a shout afterwards and let us know how it went. But yeah, big up to you. That would be grand. It's definitely an experience.
Yeah, without doubt.
I am hoping to go there in February, Phil, so you need to tell me what to expect.
Mr. K, who pops onto the channel quite often, he went to the Chelsea match and he was absolutely thrilled, despite the fact we lost. The game went horrendously, but he just enjoyed the experience of being at White Hart, being at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and meeting up with people and the crowd and the whole general experience. He absolutely loved it. So yeah, enjoy, Amir. Really enjoy it, mate. Hope we get a win as well. That'll be much better as well.
I can't wait to go because we're going with part of the Harris Army from Ireland. It's me, Dave Harris, and Philip Brady's going. It's a few of us coming from over here, so there's going to be a bit of a invasion from Ireland. And also,
I mean, it's saying big yourself up, Ellie. Proper Spurs legend, absolutely. Kev saying, I'm still fuming over the shallow, unsportsmanlike behaviour of the Gooners having the game postponed. I think they even claimed that Doreen, who works in Arsenal's canteen, was injured. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. There's more than just a standard postponement in that one, wasn't it?
Yeah, I can actually say this one. He had hepatitis. After the World Cup, he suffered. He was out for a good 6-7 months with hepatitis. Jimmy Greaves.
Same happened with Gary Lineker, didn't it?
Yeah, in '88. I don't think Greaves was never the same player after that, actually, but still ended up top goal scorer that season when he came back. I mean, they had the 6 month head start on him, and he still ended up top goal scorer.
Hmm.
Says it all, doesn't it?
I love Ben Davis saying that Arsenal game ran me through a lot of different emotions. Happy Lamella is doing well, but his attitude and work rate as a sub has been missed this season. It has.
Yeah,
He really did add something to the team when he came on.
he
Yeah.
did. And just very quickly, the link's in there for your true sets free. I just put the link in there now for you. So it's in the chat there for.
Dermot, can you put it in the private chat as well, please?
Sorry.
That's nothing to be sorry for. I'll add it on a banner then as well.
What do you think of the pitch, lads? Brilliant pitch, isn't it?
It's more
Is it a
sand
pitch or is
than
it a
grass,
sand
isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, it says it all, really. I mean, how Jimmy Greaves and played like that. I mean, can you imagine he played on pitches like today? He'd get so many goals, wouldn't he?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, what happened there? Somebody changed the. There we
Sorry.
go.
I think that might be me clicking something by mistake.
God,
Sorry,
you two
guys.
and your button pressing. Surprised we're not taking off air, Phil.
It's in the private chat now for you, Phil. I love Ben Davis. I mean, that man's brilliant. I mean, what a name for a YouTube channel. YouTube, man. But brilliant, thanks. And Derek Hutchinson said, I would like to see today's team playing that. I think Ben Davis would have something to say, wouldn't he? He'd probably take
let's
one
ask him.
Ben Davis, if you're still watching, what would you play in that pitch? Let us know. I mean, he complained about playing in Moore, having the pitch was bad there, apparently. This is what you call a bad pitch. I mean,
Yeah, definitely is.
and
Doesn't need
Kim
cutting, it
B's,
needs ploughing. Yeah.
We've got Kim B in. Good evening, Kim. I hope you're fine. Bless you. Hi, humans. That's a good start. When we're not throwing a victim on a fire, we press like, subscribe, and comment. If you don't, I'll come round your house and do a weed.
Do a wee down your chimney. That's one of the old school threats you don't get anymore.
No, it isn't. That's brilliant. Big up, Kim. Big up, absolutely.
Yeah, good to
And
see you
also
again.
big up to your mum and dad, Arthur and Elsie as well. Absolute legends. The whole family are. You're all legends, really are.
Yeah.
Mark Cousins, is this White Hart Lane or Weymouth?
Yeah, Weymouth, just a few
Weymouth
miles down the
seafront,
road
I
from me. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Carl's just saying hello to Kim. I mean, what do you reckon of the pitch, Phil? I don't think you've seen. Me and Cooper did this game on the Sunday morning, didn't we? A while ago.
I think it's good. It's like, you just can't believe the difference now compared to, what turns out, what we turn out with now. And again, I guess it brings into context how good your players like Jimmy Greaves was.
Oh dear. And Kim says she's been banned from all the other channels now, by the way.
Well, you're not banned from here. Never be banned from here.
No, never. You've never been banned from here, Kim. And anyone that does ban you, send us £3. We'll sort them out.
We'll weed down their chimney, that's for sure.
Yeah. Go on, Coover, you'll be busy tonight. There's a few chimneys you have to go down.
Talking of that, I'm going to just pop off for 2 seconds.
Which chimney are you going to start at, Phil?
Yours.
Yeah, it's great because I don't have an open fire. It's blocked.
I would pay good money for the pipes to burst above your head right now, Dermot. God, looks so funny. Never mind.
I'm thinking of a few words for you, Coover, and none of them are actually I can say live on air. Oh Lord.
Not to worry.
Not to worry. It's all in good fun, isn't it, sir?
It is indeed.
Yeah. I love Ben Davis. He says, Benny's always played for the badge and tries his best. Many players in our team lack the grit, quality doesn't matter as much as I'd rather have a team of Davis than Delis or non-Bellies.
Yeah, he's got a fair point. I
Yeah.
would as well.
Yeah,
You
can I
can
ask you a
put up with
question,
you
Phil?
can put up with a lot of bad performances if everybody's giving everything they've got.
Yeah.
Um,
I'd like to ask you a question. Who's the most improved player on the Conte? I know, still fell over.
it's difficult to look beyond Ben Davis, isn't it?
Yeah.
But even Hugo Lloris looks a better player.
In what way to you?
He's more commanding in his box, and he comes out to attack the aerial balls in a lot more than he used to. It's making him look like a better goalkeeper, I think.
Yeah.
What was the question?
Who's the most improved player under
Improved player
Conte?
on the Conte.
Without a doubt, Matt Doherty. He used to be absolutely shockingly horrendous. Now he's just shocking. So that's a great
Would you
improvement.
leave that man alone? We all know he's crap. Just can you pick another player?
No, that's not even fair to crap people.
Just because he's Irish, no need to start picking on the
No,
Irish
it's
one.
not because of that. It's because he's
right. Okay, Phil. All right. Yeah, right. Okay.
No, for me, Ben Davis. Yeah, Ben Davis. I don't think.
Yeah, I agree with you, Phil. I think it is Ben Davis. I mean, I'm
valid point in
still
what you said about Hugo, but
yeah.
Compared to let's give it 3 months ago, we'd have all binned him off without even giving it a second thought. Now we wouldn't.
The most player that hasn't improved under Conte.
Dele Alli.
And Ndombele.
Lo Celso. Let's keep going. It's like one of those like bounce offs. Lo Celso.
Tanganga.
Galini.
Yeah, by the way, that Sean was on about loan to buy.
Yeah.
Saying it's the way to go and all this. What video did somebody send to Paratici? Do you think Galini was a good goalkeeper?
He had a good season last year at Atalanta, didn't they?
Did they stick his head on somebody else's body when they sent the video?
There's an interesting statistic from his time at Atalanta as well. The last couple of seasons, they won more games when he higher percentage of games when he wasn't playing.
That just said it all, shouldn't it?
Although that can be a bit misleading as well because there's circumstances involved, obviously. But interesting that goes over a couple of seasons, though.
We have here a Matt. We've got Matt who made these. We've done the Ben Davis, so big up. I love Ben Davis. Thank you for the comment. Looks great. This is Simon. We made his debut yesterday, didn't he? Go with us.
Yeah, he did. He did indeed.
Yeah.
Welcome aboard again, mate.
Yeah. Very much sensible on he's on the same wavelength as Sean, I think, wasn't he, to be fair? But big up, Simon. Premier Hotspot TV says, evening, lads. Hope you're all well, guys. Let's hope the Leicester game goes ahead this week. Fingers crossed it does. And we are doing a watch along. We include, I think. Well, we'll let you know anyway. We are or not. Mark Cousins, Winks is looking better too. What would you say to that, lads? I'll start with you, Phil.
Yeah, another one would have been quite happy out the door, but for me, he's not long term, but he's better than some of the dross that we've got in there at the moment. So he's better, but at best a squad player.
Sorry, I just got in there for a second.
Yeah,
okay.
Certainly not going to make it. As a proper, when you like linked with Kessie and all that lot, not going to happen. But yeah,
I got a bit of news here. Can I just give this bit of news? Yeah. Just before we do that, and then I'll read out the comment there for you. Phil. Tottenham Hotspur are the first team in history to have 2 consecutive Puskas Award winners. So we won it last year, and we've won it this year. So I didn't even know that. I read out this, and I'd love to get your thoughts on it, Phil. I have read it there quickly. Alistair Gold saying Daniel Levy is planning to issue every season ticket holder an eagle for use on match days in order to appeal to the American and thus the NFL. Your thoughts? I haven't heard anything about this. Have you, Phil, and what's your thoughts on it?
I think she might be extracting the Michael. But
Yeah.
no, not again. Would I be surprised? No, it feels more about the American market now than our football club or about the business. But yeah, nothing.
On that, Phil, where do you see our club at the moment? I mean, where do you see it? Do you think it's just a franchise now more than a football club?
Yeah, we're a top 7 or 8 side that's an overall franchise that's not about the football and it's not about winning. Not anymore.
Ryan,
Evening,
good, my
mate.
Irish brother. Good. There's a few of them in here. Yeah, I just think, Phil, we've gone so far away from our roots. It's heartbreaking, and it's as I've said it before. 2001, our club died. This wasn't our club anymore, and I don't know what we got to do. I mean, I'll ask you the same question, Coover. Do you think our club is now a franchise, not a club anymore? And how far away have we gone from our roots?
Well, we're kind of going around in circles on this, aren't we, mate? It's
Yeah, I know,
yeah,
but I'd
we
just like to
just
know.
so I think somebody's just deciding to kill themselves in the house. No, it's all right. Yeah, we've just fallen away from what we were. We talk about DNA, it's not there anymore.
No.
The days of Bill Nick and Keith Birkinshaw and all the great stuff that we love watching so much, they're gone. It's really difficult to see what's going to happen under Levy, but there's hope. There's always hope. That's what kills us, isn't it?
It is. It is. Kim beats it. Everyone loves Ben. Ben. Ben the fifth. Big up Kim. That's brilliant. Ellie says, "My dad took me to this match. I was only, but
7.
although
7.
I can't see the 7 there. Sorry.
No, it's on the next one. So
All right. Sorry. But although I was only young, I got to see the great Jimmy Greaves and the great Dave Mackay play. What a great way to be educated, um, educated in footy. Hey, yeah,
Damn right.
I mean,
Damn right.
damn right as well. She says, Premier Hotspurs saying to Carl, hi. Kim B says, Cooper has popped off to check his chimney. Carl Simpson, Daniel Levy probably wants to change our name to North London Cockerels.
I'll change it into an NFL signing
Yeah,
team.
I mean, you've said this before about us doing our own NFL team. I think we're quite convinced of that on you, Cooper.
Sorry, say again.
You've said before to me that you think that we'll start our own American football team.
Only if the likes of Amazon took us over, yeah, definitely.
If he comes in, that could be good.
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to happen otherwise.
Pond,
it's way too expensive, but
yeah. Premier Hotspur TV said, guys, I love being on the channel yesterday. It was very good debate, and you guys are great. Keep the shows coming. Well, thank you very much, Simon. It's very kind of you to say. We loved having you on yesterday. It was your debut as well, so you had a fantastic debut on our channel, and we'd love to have you on in the future. You and Kieran. I thought the pair of them were brilliant yesterday, weren't they? Both.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
really
Kieran come on very passionate about what he believed in, wasn't he? Very straight, this is it. And so was Simon. He was very much agreeing with Sean, wasn't he, really?
Well, Simon's just being patient with it all. So he's I think we'd call that the sort of sensible approach.
Yeah.
Whereas we're just had enough of that. We're not waiting.
Yeah. Kim B says we're running the risk of turning into Crystal Palace with all these bloody eagles around these days. Oh Lord, we'd be glad all over, wouldn't we? Right.
Carl Simpson, have I missed something? Is there interest from Amazon? Yeah, from me.
Yeah,
I want Amazon to come and buy us out.
Yeah,
and then the whole thing and create the NFL team, football team,
baseball
pumping
team.
billions into the teams, making them the best in the world. I'll be quite pleased with that.
We could be
would he
called
be
it.
able to? Would he be able to get Annabelle? Would he be able to get Amazon to sponsor Tottenham for some like dodgy income?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Could do what he wants.
Yeah, we all want him.
Yeah, I mean,
So
we already know
anymore.
money. Yeah,
So anymore, Sean asked us, who do we want in the new owners? We could say Amazon. Is that right?
yeah. I'm always always going to say Amazon. It's there. It actually makes sense for them to do it, so they can promote themselves all over on a global scale and big into these markets of both football and NFL franchise at the same time. And it's all there in one club for them. That Spurs, we've got the stadium for it. It's literally there for them. So yes, please come on, a few billion in, and bye bye Man City. They'll be tiny compared.
What have I said? Oh yeah, Carl Simpson says, "Love it, Cuba. Email them, see if they're up for it."
Yeah,
And then I love Ben Davis says, "No one Spurs. Bing will buy us out." So
yeah.
it's actually quite funny. I don't think Levy has any intentions of selling us, but it's quite funny trying to pick new owners, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So I'm just dealing with a message away from the channel at the moment.
Sorry. All right. Jimmy Greaves hasn't scored there yet. The two cool hosts are busily on their computers. Yeah, and we've got Mike Cousins said, I'll bring that up there. Man City did the same with the Etihad. Yeah, they did. And then Kim B is saying, no, in our luck, we'll be bought out by the stretcher. Yeah, that's true, Kim. No, in our luck. Although there's a very young Spurs fan thinking, Mammy, why am I here cold? I'm tired. I'm cold and I want to go home, but I'm happy. I'm a Spurs fan. God help that lad. He grew up really. Phil, what's your thoughts of seeing this early Spurs side? Do you think football's changed like from then to now?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to measure, isn't it? It's like poor passing, poor pitches. I don't know. It just doesn't. You look there, just losing the ball willy nilly, aren't they? They're not really very dominant. So,
I mean, it is a great. Steve Perman was playing in this, wasn't it? It's hard to believe, didn't he? Played the whole 70s. Late 60s, the whole 70s, good part of the 80s. It's just a shame that he was sold to Oxford, but that was scholar for you.
Just succession of bad chairman, isn't it? Well, good and bad. There's been positive points about each and bad points on each.
What a brilliant goal. And who scored that? Who scored that? Good goal, though. Right, what was so good about Scholar then, Cooper?
Scholar? We spent loads of money on great players. That was it. Bought in the likes of Gaza and that. But then at the end of the day, we paid for it. So enjoyed it while we were on a good run, but wasn't good in the long run.
Came crashing around us, didn't it?
It did.
We've got this one here. This one here from Premier Hotspur TV, guys. Trust the process. Good times are coming. They call me the patient one.
Maybe.
What would you say to that one?
I'd say we've been told to be patient for like 20 years now. I'm kind of a bit worn out with that line.
There's a very young Stevie P wearing the number 10.
Oh,
baby face.
He looks barely old enough to play.
I know. That's the funny thing. It really does. And he hasn't changed much over the years, has he?
No, he hasn't.
He really hasn't
He was,
changed
he was
much,
another
has
one
he?
of Mum's favourites, so she had a bit
Yeah.
of a thing for Stevie P. I think that's a popular thing amongst the ladies.
Phil, just very quickly, I want to get your thoughts on this. We've got 14 days left in the transfer market. What do you personally want to see in the next 14 days?
Some signings,
Yeah, but
some confirmed, some upgrade on players, and most importantly, the players that Conte wants. So whatever that is, be it goalkeeper, centre back, I don't really know or care, but that squad needs refreshing because I'm sick of looking at our bench and seeing Ross that we would not go and buy now. If you look at that bench and you think Tanguy or Delhi or Lo Celso or Tanganga and Doherty, any of those were available to buy this month, we would not be even considering going in for them.
I
So
mean, it's not a bench really. You can, if they really needed the points for a top four, and you had to bring on somebody off the bench to do it for you. There's nobody on there, is there?
no,
No. I'd like you to answer this one. Then I'll go to Cooper if that's all right, Cooper. Um, Brian Smith. I don't know if he's been in before, but big up Brian. Thank you for joining us. I can't believe he says. I can't believe we still haven't given someone the naming rights for our stadium. Surely someone like Nike or Amazon would be interested. Are we losing big money by putting the price too high? I'd like to start with you, Phil, for that one.
again, for me it just stinks of poor management. Stadium's been open 2 and a bit years now, or coming up 2 years, and it's like we haven't got the naming rights yet. It's a massive part of the business. So the question is, whoever's running it, what are they doing? It's monumental income. So again, just all these Levy people that are like, oh, he's done a great job. He's selling us short on the naming rights for the stadium because that could have been done. That could be,
Should have been.
yeah,
Um,
2 years worth of missed rent. If anyone's got a second property or a property that they rent or let out, nobody would leave it empty or void for 2 years. So why in a massive industry would you not do that?
To add to that, we brought in didn't we bring on an American marketing specialist
yeah,
just to deal with the naming rights as well? How long ago was that?
before the stadium was built.
Yeah, it happened way before Nuno got appointed. No, it was quite recently. It was last summer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Somebody came in just to deal with the naming rights thing, where they're specialised in doing that sort of thing. Nothing's happening. So, what's going on there?
I've got a good name for the stadium. White Hart Lane.
Yeah, and that's not going to give you any revenue or income, so it's not going to be that.
No, but I'm just putting the point out there, Phil.
It's stuff. Unfortunately, things have moved on, and now they're business-wise stadiums, aren't they? It's the such and such stadium, the Reebok Stadium or the Etihad and stuff, because there's a whole heap of income you can get from it.
I just say something on that. Arsenal had their naming rights already sorted out before the stadium opened. Manchester City were the same. Even Bolton were the same. I mean, there's 3 clubs already. I mean, why can we not? We're the laughing stock of the footballing world at the moment. Premier Hospital TV, Phil, guys, they're playing on the beach. What do you say to that one?
They are.
Just
look at it. It's laughable, isn't it?
Yeah. Isn't it? Sorry, go on, Cove, sorry.
Isn't it 3 this week? Which bit are we talking about? Have I missed something?
I don't know.
No, I don't know.
This one's a good point, and I like your thoughts on this one. I'll start with you, Cove, and then I'll go to you, Phil. What's your thoughts on upping the cost of food and drink at the stadium following the Arsenal game being postponed and food being wasted in terms of money? I'd give you a bit of breaking news on that. The food that was meant to go for the Arsenal game has now been given to the local food bank for families that family need extra food and that. So it's all gone there. All that food has actually gone to the food bank for needy families, hard up families that are in finding it difficult at this time. So that's where all the food has gone in there. Phil, for you,
Arsenal
what's your
should
thoughts?
Arsenal should foot the bill for that. End of. They wanted the game cancelled. They have to pay the consequences, but that won't happen. So if they don't do it, then the Premier League should because they sanctioned it. So either way, it's a shocker.
No, we're actually Levy's upping the prices of the food in the stadium. So he's upping the prices. That's what he said.
And I
So
hope, like Mr. Daigle suggests, that nobody buys a bloody thing because again, what they're doing, he's taking the piss out of his own fans, the loyal fans that go there and want a bit of time together. So I really do hope the next game, the stadium's bloody empty for food and drink. No one buys it.
Let's expand the point again for our mate Ben Kaufman, who made a great point weeks ago about this. We don't provide, because we ban people bringing food into the ground, we should be providing for everybody's needs. We don't, Spurs do not provide kosher food. No. I mean, who'd have thought that a club like, might have a Jewish connection, might have some Jewish fans coming to the ground. And they can't
I read somewhere that there is a club in London that's got kind of a big Jewish following, but I don't know who it is. I've done my research.
It must have been so hard to spot. Never mind. Yeah. At least we can carry on by not doing it.
If anyone in the comments can let me know, because I'm a bit embarrassed, but I don't know who that is. But
I think it was a team called Tottenham Hotspur. There used to be a team in North London called Tottenham.
Maybe. Yeah.
And now it's called Levy Franchise United. That's what it's called now. I mean, Keith Birkinshaw was right when he said it back in the 80s. There used to be a football club over there. By Jesus, he was born right 40 odd years later. We got Mark Cousins. Go on.
Sorry. No, it's just
sorry, Phil.
Kim's comment. Levy, whatever the crap's name is. He's penny wise and pound foolish. Yep,
absolutely.
Best example of that, right back.
There's the great Jimmy Greaves at the end of the match. Sorry, Phil.
Sells at top price and then spends more money replacing him with 3 or 4 pieces of chuff than he ever did. You should have just kept him. You've been better off.
Yeah. And look all those ridiculous little signings that are just doing nothing.
Yeah. And got another one up here as well. Oh, okay, yeah, go on then. Phil, go on. Sorry.
He'd rather have no sponsor in place than chargeable fair amount for the naming rights. Yeah, again, you can only suggest that he wants a price, and if he doesn't get that price, no one gets it. But in the meantime, he's cutting his nose off to spite his face. So
it's ridiculous. I mean, Mike Cousin also here has it right. Big up Kim for them. Thank you very much. Wasn't someone employed to sort out the naming rights? What's he done? Sweet effort. He's done nothing.
Yeah,
he really has done nothing. We've got Derek Hutchison here saying the squad should have been invested in when we were making top 4, but was not. That is why we have this problem today. It's Levy's fault. It is Levy's fault. The buck starts with him. Full stop.
He's accountable. You know, if you want to look at your accountable, responsible, blah blah blah, he's accountable. He's the top dog. He hires and fires the people that make those decisions. So he may or may not have made those decisions, but he hires the people to do that.
And this is what gets me peed off with all these DBM people saying he's not responsible. He is responsible. He hired somebody. It's like me hiring you, Cooper, or you, Phil, to do a job. You don't do that job. Who's responsible? Me, because I picked you. I can sack you, or you can leave and say, right, I'm not working here anymore. But it's me that's responsible. Levy's responsible for the managers, for the director of football, for everyone that works for Tottenham. He's the top dog. And if he can't take responsibility, or responsibility for his actions, then he needs to get out now.
There you go, Cooper. So that's the guy's name, Todd Klein.
Todd Klein, yeah,
that
that's
name
right.
rings a bell now.
Yeah.
And then a massively brilliant comment from Ellie. Levy's waiting for the biggest payday in the naming rights. The miser wants to boost his personal bank balance. Yep. Again, because of what history's told you, can't see anything but that.
Yeah.
I was all excited on the 1st of January. Now we've got 14 days left. We're not going to sign the damn thing.
Carl
We're not going to
Simpson
sign
was
anyone.
saying Wolves have just confirmed the signing of a new winger. Maybe that's Traore. Maybe.
I don't.
It certainly means Traore's leaving Wolves.
Can I just say I'm really not excited over that transfer of Traore. It really does not get me. He's useless. And
He's
Conte
a
wants him.
non-footballer.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And Conte wants him. Yeah, right. That's got Levy. That's a Levy signing written on over that one.
Well, you would hope now that if Levy decides that he's going to go out and buy someone and he doesn't get Conte and Paratici say so, then it really can't happen. But this is Tottenham Hotspur. That is Daniel Levy. So who knows? Mark Cousins saying signings. We were told 3 this week. Yep, maybe.
Yeah.
I think I've read that somewhere. They said it's a busy week for us, but that will build up to probably a contract extension for Hugo. There's one of them.
A new boy and a new dinner lady. And a trainer for non-Bellio.
That Fabrizio Romano was saying 3 this week are heading out to keep an eye on the Traore. So 3 heading out. Oh. Christ, only 3. I guess that's a good start, though, isn't it?
Yeah, if it's the right ones.
Yeah. Unless it's Kane's son and
Kane's son and like Hugo.
Well, I would hate
Kane's son and Romero.
Yeah. Can you imagine what Brian Daigle would do if them 3 left? Oh Lord Jesus! Right. Carl Simpson. Yes, Mark. They said 3 signings hopefully this week, not including Torre apparently, and selling next week.
I remember hearing things about it's going to be a busy transfer week. The last week of the transfer window several times, and then nothing happens in it. So we'll see. We'll see.
Transfer deadline day is going to be interesting, isn't it? Who's on today?
Not for us. Not for us. It won't.
Not in any way, shape, or form.
That's what I meant. Who have we signed this week? No one. They'll have one.
This one's perfect.
Ben Davis.
We'll have one. What, this one? Right. Okay. Let me see.
Mustn't forget Kyle Walker-Peters. We let him go far too easily, and he's better than the 3 of our options this season, in his opinion, and he was a youth player. You didn't know that at the time, but he's suddenly looking useful at Southampton.
Yeah. I've always thought it was a mistake to let him go.
Yeah. You hit the nail on the head yesterday, Cooper, or the day before, saying about our youth system being crap. We get good youth play going through, and what do? We sell them. I mean, how about the Harvey White? He needs a chance. And who's the goalkeeper that played well in pre-season?
Whiteman.
Why not have him as an understudy to
Well, he can't be any worse than that chuffer that's there, can he?
Phil, look, I'm sorry. A bloody Ray Charles could be a better goalkeeper than bloody Galini.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I'm sorry, no disrespect to Ray Charles. Great singer, but he'd be a better goalkeeper. Galini couldn't catch a cold. More like bloody COVID.
Yeah. As far as the Levy in lot go, simply remind them that he tried to furlough staff in 2020 when COVID first hit.
But according to all them, that was a great thing to do. Financially, that was a masterstroke. I mean, the Levy in lot are so.
Well, no, it depends because there's different sort of grades of Levy in as well. Like there's different grades of Levy out, so people have varying opinions. To be fair,
yeah. I mean, to be fair to Sean, he tried to come in it in a different way. I don't agree with everything Sean says, and Sean doesn't agree with everything I say. But Apparently he's told us he's done his homework for his debate with Daigle. Apparently, 12 pages long. I think he said to us, or something along that line.
The worst arguments I have of Levy in is when people start looking at sort of average finishes compared to compared to club size, by finance and stuff like that, and then saying, "Oh, sixth place is around our level, so they're okay with that." Well, why even bother trying if you're going to settle for that? It's just not worth it, is it?
No.
You'd be better to aim high and fail than aim low
Exactly.
and succeed. Somebody said that once, but I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter, does it? It's, things in the past, Phil.
Yeah, that's all that's gone.
It's shocking. It really is shocking.
I love Ben Davis saying last chance Levy, and he's only managed that because he somehow brought Conte in. If it doesn't work under Conte, change has to happen. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Will it?
Also, when Conte landed, wasn't it?
Yeah, the change that will happen is just we'll get in a really crap manager after about 11 weeks of looking, and back to square one. Carterman, good of you to join us again, mate. Haven't seen you for a little while. Hello, boys. Hope all's well. Just watched the battle of Sean and Dermot Coover, and I haven't finished so much. So don't spoil it. It just, I think the alcohol ran out. That's what ended it. Scott M, big up, mate. Busy week next week. Big summer plans.
Sorry, you just
Hey,
the alcohol ran out. Is that
right,
for Sean last night?
does seem to be what brought an end to it.
Can I just say one thing? So he was starting at one point. I watched it back. Right, he starts at one point in the chair. You can see him literally just start moving to the other side.
Yeah, good debate. Good debate tactic that is. Change your stance slightly if it's not going well. But Scott M saying busy week next week. Big summer plans for the upcoming summer. It's always things that are going on to happen. Never things that are actually happening. Yeah, it's true. It's the constant promises. It's constant. We'll end up as usual. We tried to get this. We tried to get that. Nothing happens at all.
Robert Lewandowski has just won the best FIFA Men's Player of the Year.
Probably deserves that.
Yeah,
probably.
It was a good season he had.
Yeah.
There we go. Back to Premier Hotspur. Oh.
Fab was saying it's Nombele, Deli, and Stevie B. 100% things will happen with these three players, and we'll give Conte the option to bring in one or two.
Bergwijn will at least bring some sort of fee.
Can I just say I believe it when I see it?
Well, yeah. Go on then, say it.
Go on, say it.
I believe it when I see it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well done, mate.
Right. Mark and Day is having his
medical... Have I back in the real world now? Am I come back from Cuckoo Land?
Wayne Bonner. Galini's a goalkeeper. Who knew?
Well,
I swear to God, somebody put his head on somebody else's body when they sent the DVD to Parent Teacher. I was pulling off world-class saves. I mean, that first goal against Chelsea in that semi-final. What the hell was he doing?
I have got some breaking news myself, actually.
What's that?
Regarding statues at the ground. Because we all said we want club legends as statues at the ground. We've got Galini in the goal.
Yeah.
And we've got Lo Celso in the treatment room.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Lo Celso?
Really?
Oh, that's banging.
That'll be there for a long time.
Oh, do you know what? I'm so happy with that. That's just made my day. No.
Galini has not budged an inch. I mean, that one is rooted in place.
Is he still standing in the goal now?
We've still got Nuno on the touchline.
Do you think we'll get a Levy one? like a little one just with a little bald head, and just that you could do with one out of rubber. You could just go out and just keep twatting it
Yeah,
every time you
we'll
walk
have it.
past,
No,
couldn't you?
we'll have it there for the birds to crap on. You know, the birds will get to crap on his bald head all the time.
That'd be great. Levy, instead of a light bag or something, the boxing style, you just go past and whack it as you were going past it into the ground.
I wouldn't put it past Levy trying to put a statue of himself up there, you know.
There you go. Jack Clark has just scored for the England under-23s. Hashtag future Pele. Big up, Ricky. No, it's Jens, isn't it? Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, we won at cricket today. We beat the West Indies in the one-day international Ireland.
Right. But that's Ireland. This is Tottenham.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Just saying,
no one cares.
We won at cricket.
No one cares.
When you say we, well, I'm not Irish, Phil.
I'm not Irish.
I don't care what you two think. I'm saying my country won at cricket today. How are you doing in the Ashes? Did you win the Ashes? Did you?
No,
we're
in
not
West
getting
Indies.
on cricket, a game that you can play for 5 days, and then the weather determines the result. Just get a grip.
Just being mopey.
Okay, we'll never beat the Irish. Let's see the result of the next England-Ireland game in cricket, shall we? Then you can say we never beat the Irish.
That's coming up. We've got England rugby coming up.
Yeah.
We'll beat you in that and all.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Keep kidding yourself, mate. Whatever keeps you going.
So, guys, with Levy in and Levy out, people have their own opinion, unfortunately, guys. Yep, they do.
There you go, Goof.
Oh, yeah.
Kim, we are now celebrating mediocrity and lack of ambition. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rhyme of Hollywood Phil going senile, forgetting a lot today. It's been a busy day.
Yeah.
And a hint
Good
of
evening.
sarcasm.
Good evening, Brian. Welcome. Thank you for joining in.
We are. Thanks for popping on earlier, mate. That was lovely to see you on the stream. There you go. And big up to Kim with a proper suggestion. Cricket should be banned. Yeah. It's for dull people with nothing better to do.
So you're calling me dull then, Phil?
Games.
Yeah.
You're calling me dull then?
Yep.
Okay, there you go. Get rid of you.
Absolutely dull. Dull. Dull.
Cheers, Phil.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Shall we end it there, lads?
Yeah.
I think we've come to an end now.
There's so little else to talk about in the club at the moment. We're just waiting for something to happen.
Yeah. Well, we'll watch 3 great matches tonight. We'll be back in the morning at 11:30 for our morning show with Ben Kaufman from his coffee shop. I think we're back tomorrow evening. I think we are. We'll do something, a game or something.
Yeah, you got a discussion tomorrow, haven't you? Not so much a game.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got that discussion. Yeah, I need to sort that out. Yeah. Thanks, Phil. You reminded me. I'm looking forward to that one. That's one I've been itching to do for a long time. It's a shame you won't be here. You're not with us tomorrow night, are you, Phil?
No.
Or Wednesday?
No, not
But
tomorrow.
Phil will be back with us on Thursday night, and then Friday night at 11. It's the Coover and Phil show, where anything goes, anything can happen. And the last 2 Fridays have been brilliant. I may just pop in sometimes during the night to see what's going on. But if Danny and what?
Of course you'll pop in at some point because you said you definitely won't be there.
Yeah.
That's a guarantee that you will be there.
But I won't be starting the stream. It's your
FOMO.
show. I just
FOMO.
What's
Absolutely.
FOMO mean?
Fear of missing out. It's a thing. It's a proper thing.
Yeah, but I don't, no, yeah, okay.
Yeah, Kim. Yeah, well, honestly, Kim, if you want to watch the last 2 back, but we managed 4 hours last week, which culminated in Sean and Cody having a little Mexican standoff, and Coover and I playing top trumps over the internet. So it all goes. So
using a mobile phone and a drawing pad with a marker pen.
We were in.
We were.
Mark Cousins. Cricket is a great, especially the 2020. Yeah, that's probably one. But you don't really go for the cricket; you go for the beer, don't you? So,
yeah, it's just a fun day out sort of thing. I always treat it as a background sport.
Yeah, Phil, I've just sent you something private there. Just want to make sure it's okay to say. you can give me the okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Is that all right?
Do that, and then I'll do the last 4 comments because it's a bit of a theme.
Tomorrow night we're actually doing the Bill Nick. We're doing the Bill Nick special. I've done a lot of work on this in the background. His career at Tottenham, player and manager. So tomorrow, me and Cove will be looking back at the career and the management of the great Bill Nicholson. He should have been knighted, Sir Bill Nicholson. I don't think he was knighted, was he? I think he got an MBE or an OBE, but it's an absolute travesty.
No.
So that's the show we're doing tomorrow, and then Wednesday I think we're going to do a watch along. Me and Cooper will do a watch along with Spurs, Leicester Spurs. So thank you very much for everyone that's watched tonight. Put the comments in. I'll let you finish off in the final few comments.
I'm going to do the last three.
And then I'm going to read out, and then I'll read out a Bill Nicholson quote because I think this one is just spot on.
So we have from Derek, Levy out. From Kim, we have Levy out. And for the great man himself,
and as always,
Levy out. And I want to end on this little bit of Bill Nick quote to give everyone a bit of a. This is what the club should be about.
What were you giving them?
Yeah, I've just realised. Just shut up. Leave me alone. Right. It is better to fail aiming high than succeed aiming low. And we at the Spurs have set our sights very high. So high, in fact, that even failure will have in it the echoes of glory from the great Bill Nick. Thank you very much all for watching. Be safe, be careful. We'll see you tomorrow morning, and then as always, come on, you Spurs.
And Levy out.
And you never beat the Irish.
We're the Spurs! We're marching in!